always ask me what Chance is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
What's good, bro?
What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
It's alright, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I did.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
Right now, I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Hey, Penn State fans, it's game time, and Ciocca is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Ciocca dealerships. Experience the difference.
That's a bull.
Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of the Blue and White Players Show, coming to you as we always do, live from Champs Downtown on South Allen Street, the heart of Happy Valley, bringing you the new school, old school, same school perspective on Penn State's 2022 football season. I'm your fake host, Chris Buchanani, joined by Keith Goon Conlon, former Penn State offensive lineman. I got to make sure I throw that out.
Stress the offensive lineman.
Aeneas Hawkins. What's
yes,
happening?
sir. Excited any day with you and Goon on this show, man. It's exhilarating.
Yes, for sure. The same. And we're going to overload on defensive line tonight.
There's 126 guys on the team, but yet we've had 38 offensive linemen defensive linemen on our show this year.
Here we go. And he's so grateful for it.
Junior defensive end, Adisa Isaac. Thanks for joining us, Adisa.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you here. As we kind of always like to do, just to start out, if you could introduce yourself to everybody and tell us a little bit about your path to Penn State.
Okay. My name is Adisa Isaac. I'm a senior here at Penn State. Played defensive end. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Didn't start playing football till high school, so I was mainly a basketball player. Then started getting offers in high school for football. And Penn State just drew my attention once I came on campus, just the family environment, just everything that came with it, school, academics, everything. Like, it was all in one. And I just felt at home every time I came up here, and that's where we at today with it, just keep living it on. So I'm glad to be here.
Agreed.
Yes, sir.
I always talk about guys like from the East, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Maryland, if they're going to go out to the Midwest. Like, you literally drive right past State College.
Yep.
Like,
I don't even know.
It would be infuriating to me if I had to like drive like 10 more hours to Iowa and this and that. If I'm here, you know.
Yep.
So did the distance have anything to do with it? I mean, close to home, you can see your family.
Definitely.
If you needed to get home, good 3 or 4 hour jaunt home and bang bang.
Yep. It was an easy travel, easy commute. You know, obviously family's everything for me, so that definitely made it easier coming here.
Have you noticed that? Family has stayed the same in the generations of Penn State football players, and since the 50s and 60s, and always been about family and stuff like that. I mean, really, I mean, Franklin, you know, he recruits your family though.
Yes, he does.
Because the old man recruited my family. It was like, I got the old, well, Dad, I think I'm going to go to Florida State. He goes, well, that's great, but I'm never going to see you play, just so you know, unless you go and play at Penn State, because we're going to go there to watch games.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was my.
That was similar.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that was
Good call, Moon.
Yep. Your dad didn't want to drive a bunch of hours. Mom didn't want to drive a bunch of hours. No, none of that.
Definitely not.
I want to dig in a little bit more about what you said about not playing football to high school. So talk a little bit about, you know, making that sports switch, and then what it was like when you started getting attention from some of these big time programs.
You know, I always wanted to play football even before high school. Just seeing my classmates in elementary school come with their pads, just looking like, hey, I'm trying to join. Like, I want to play too. But you know, at the time, it wasn't the right time for my mom to sign me up. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna just wait till high school. Just keep playing basketball, wrestling, do all the other sports, but just wait till high school for football. And when I got to football, 9th grade, you know, I tried out a couple positions, wide receiver, tight end, and it was cool, you know. But obviously, you could tell it wasn't the right fit for me. Then I went to defense, played defensive end, off rip. Coach knew, like, you know, you got something special. And then from that point on, I just kept building on that, taking the coaching, just learning, getting better every day. And, you know, eventually sophomore year, offers started rolling in. First one was Rutgers, close to home. So, you know, they always throw the first punch. Yeah, they throw that first punch early. So
it's the only shot.
Yeah, early shot, right?
It's so true, dude. That's what Rutgers.
Yeah, it's not bad though, but
I want to hit on something just because, you know, you didn't play football till high school. So I remember actually you came in, you were still raw, still learning the game, but you had a loaded defensive end room that you came in with. Talk about some of them guys and what that experience with them did for your career.
Man, I'm gonna start off with Shaka Tony, the old head in the room when I got there. You got Yitor Gross Matos, Odafe Owe. Just a lot of great talent just across the board ahead of me that I learned from. Just coming in just took me under their wing when I first got here. I early enrolled, so I was there ahead of time, just picking up game, just learning how to move in college. So just their presence and seeing how they work, seeing how they pass rush, just taking tips from them, taking stuff from their game really helped me out a lot.
You learned what? I mean, those guys didn't have to be hardworking because they were really, really damn good.
Yeah.
But they're still the hardest working guys on the team, and that's what makes them great. And that's why they're doing what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you learn is it's like the guys that are. I always say O.J. McDuffie when I was a young guy. He was the hardest worker in the team. I mean, it was like, dude, you don't need to do that, but he's still going to be the hardest worker in the team. Yeah. Ingram, Hardings, all those guys, the guys that are like who separate themselves as being just like completely all-American, like, you know, this and that type of guy, they're the hardest workers in the team, and that's the best way to do it. I mean, they are the guys who you build a program on.
Definitely.
So you passing it down?
Yep, most definitely. Like we were just talking about one of our young guys, Dennis Sutton. I think he's going to be a great player for us. I'm definitely helping him. He's asking me a lot, like probably more than I even know myself, but I'm just giving him everything that I know and just helping him grow while I'm here.
Passing the torch.
Passing the torch.
Family, man.
Family.
So it's true. I mean, it's the way it is.
Yes, sir.
So you come in, you play behind those guys, you learn from those guys, and then your opportunity comes around and the injury bug hits.
Yes.
So we've had we had PJ Mustafa on our first show. We talked to a couple players who've had to work through injuries in their career. Nick Tarburton, another guy, another defensive lineman. And so,
yes, sir.
You know, can you just talk a little bit about what it was like for you last season as you're working through the injury, and then now that you're finally able to get back on the field?
I feel like last year was really all mental for me. I never had a major injury, so it was just something new that I had to, you know, get through. But it was definitely mental, just grinding through day by day, you know, not knowing when you're going to feel the same again, but just knowing that every day you're going to stack another day on top of another.
What helps you through that process? If you've never gone through it before, what was the experience like here at Penn State as far as, you know, being supported going through the injury recovery?
I would just say a lot of positive energy. Just everybody, every time you walk through the training room, oh, you're looking better, your steps looking better. you look strong, you look bigger.
Shout out Matt Perigine, man.
Yes, sir. That's a big shout out to Matt. Just my one-on-one helped me get through the rehab every day. Just coming in the mornings, 3 days, just working every day, and he just helped me push me and keep a positive mentality throughout it all, and it definitely helps.
They're part trainer, part doctor, part shrink, dude.
Yep.
They really are.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to deal with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I always tell Chris all the time about Devin Still. Like, there's a guy who went through a significant injury his freshman year, and then he practiced maybe 4 or 5 days, and then he had another one.
Yep.
Like, I'm talking catastrophic. I'm talking about two straight years. And he sat there, he was in the locker room, and I looked at him, and he goes, I don't know if I can do this a whole nother year, because it's taxing, it's demanding.
It
I mean,
is.
That's your life.
Yep.
So you got school, then you got to go to rehab. School to rehab, rehab, school, and it stinks.
Yep.
But Devin was the kind of guy, I mean, you got to get him mentally prepared to do it. And like, if you had to go through it again, it would suck. But you have to get, because you got through it the first time, and obviously doing very, very well with it. But like Devin said, the second time was the tough one.
Yep.
I can see that.
And it takes a village to get through that type of stuff. We talked about the trainers already. We talked about some of the old heads you had and teammates you had. But a guy that doesn't get enough credit with the D-line, you and I both know it as Deion Barnes. How did that relationship help push you through? A guy who played here, had success himself. What have you been able to take away from him?
Just his knowledge for the game, how he breaks it down, puts it in the simplest form for you to understand it. He's just a real player's coach. He's a great coach. I feel like I've picked up so much just off of little details that took my game so much farther ahead. And just the constant work, he keeps pushing you during workouts. He say, it's not gonna be an easy workout. You coming to work or you going home? Like, no games, just straight to work. And I feel like that's the mentality you gotta have to, be a defensive lineman. So I feel like that's what really helps, us have that mentality to be great.
The prima donna list goes, why do you say this quarterback is defensive line?
There you go, man.
It's unbelievable.
So the season's off to a great start. You can't complain about 5-0. It's been interesting watching you guys through the first 5 weeks of the season, because you've had so many different types of challenges. You had to open on the road in a hostile environment and against a conference opponent. Then the third week of the season, you had to travel down to Alabama and play Auburn in their building. And then 2 weeks ago, you guys had to play in damn near hurricane conditions. So give me a couple of good stories from the first 5 weeks of the season, especially because it's been great for you coming back from injury and actually getting to get out there and play with your teammates.
I feel like the first game was really just getting the jitters out, new team, we on the road, first game of the season. It's really just getting that chemistry, everybody getting comfortable, just the breaking the ice. So I feel like that first game was just, just a welcome this new team type of game.
For you personally, how long did it take you in that first game before you really felt comfortable?
I feel like I felt comfortable going into the game, but just building that confidence to really, push it to that extra level during that game. But I feel like just mentally, I try not to even think about the injury, because that really just slows you down. So just mainly just going out there and playing, having fun, just being with the guys. Be on the sideline, everybody have high energy. So I feel like that just helps a lot. Just having that energy. But as far as the season so far, I feel like we're doing great. Chemistry is gelling. We're playing as one unit, especially on defense. We're playing as one unit, and we just have to build on it and keep it going. Yeah, just having
fun, right?
It is.
Winning is fun. You've been saying that for a few years. It's like, man, everybody's complaining about this or that. I'm like, just win some games. It changes the whole atmosphere of the team. And so, all right, here's the deal. You get 2 sacks this week. You come back to the show next week, and I'll say how good the damn defensive line is.
Is that right?
That's right.
Is that right? Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
So
we all got that, right? We
all
got everybody heard it.
You're on camera.
You all got that one. Okay.
Because I think you guys, their strength is their offensive line. Michigan, and I'm telling you, we've been playing there since '93. They've had the same 5 offensive linemen the whole time. They just changed their numbers. It's the same 5 guys. It's like cookie cutters. And it's a good thing for them and this and that, because they've always had great offensive lines and this and that.
John Runyon has been there like 3 times.
Literally, John Runyon Jr. and him have been, they've morphed into, so John Jansen, Runyon, Skrepnik has been out there. No, but it is a tough place to play, but I want to tell you this. You will laugh, because Were you there 2020?
Yes, sir.
Nobody there, right?
Nobody there.
It's going to be just as loud. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it is the most overrated place in the history of the world.
I don't know why I keep hearing that.
It is. It's not loud.
It's not? Why is that? Though?
Because it's an open stadium and all the noise goes up. We have
that's wasteful.
We have all that we have the overhangs and the noise rattles off and bang comes back down. They don't have that. I do want to see because they put that press box in there within the last 5 to 7 years, right?
Supposedly some of
There's
the
some
renovations
reverberations
have
are coming
made it
down.
a little louder.
But it was a joke, dude.
Allegedly.
Well, I have to. Does Purdue? I mean, Iowa still have the pink locker rooms?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a joke. You're sitting there. I'm telling you, it infuriates me more as a player. Go down to playing in the pink locker room and they're yelling, oh, you get more fired up to play.
Yeah,
the big house, they call it the big house, and it's like, this place is quiet. So it works against them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
I haven't got to experience it yet, but
it's amazing.
Real quick.
I want to take the heart, man.
Take the heart from them.
Take the heart.
Last thing I want to ask. We've seen a lot of rotation on the D-line. Please explain to the people the value of having depth at that position, because that defensive line position is one that takes so much energy. It's such an active position. How have you seen that help the team overall this year?
I've seen it help us a lot. I'll start off with the first game of the season. We rotated so many guys. As you could tell the game went down to the end. So just having them fresh rushers on third down, just getting after the QB with a lot of high energy, high motor, that changes the game. You know, that one play can change the game, strip sack, whatever it may be. Just having that extra effort to go out there. So I feel like just having guys rotating, it really keeps the defense going. It keeps us running at a high speed.
As an offensive lineman, it's the worst thing in the world is having a guy across from you every play coming at you. Fresh guy coming at you, it sucks.
I bet.
Because, you know, when you're playing against a guy every play for 99 plays, you're just sitting there past that. You're chasing the quarterback. You get worn down. I don't.
Yep.
You're going to slow down at about play 70. Now, if they're rotating you and you're only on play 20, you're still fresh as hell.
Yep.
That is the worst player to play against.
Yep.
Guy goes 1,000 miles, not a player, but a position that goes 1,000 miles an hour every play.
Yep.
And we rotate. And I think the D-lines finally have caught up to that in the last 10, 15 years. Yeah. And they stopped playing the same defensive line all the time, and they'll rotate guys, and you guys are killing it right now. So keep it up, man.
Appreciate you.
All right? I want to see you here next week.
Most definitely.
Excellent.
Where is he?
Where's the D-line? Where's the D-line? I love it, man.
Well, we're going to keep it on the defensive line. On the other side of the break, we're going to go from Adisa to we're going to go from the outside to the inside of the defensive line.
Fake this again.
Ellies in on the other side of the break.
Again?
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
I appreciate
it's a
you,
pleasure.
guys.
D-line is the heartbeat.
Stay with us. We'll be back on the Blue and White Players Show from Champs Downtown.
People always ask me what Champs is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
It's good, bro.
What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
It's all right, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I haven't.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X-Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers, and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at HappyValleyAgVentures.com.
State fans, it's game time, and Sioka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Sioka dealerships. Experience the difference.
Coke would have had Coke in it.
Oh, hey! Welcome back, everybody, to the Blue and White Players
Much
Show.
better when Coke would have had Coke
Live,
in it.
emphasis on live from Champs Downtown.
Emphasis on live.
We are pleased now to be joined by defensive tackle Devon Ellies. Devon, thanks for joining us, Ben. This is how we do it on this show. Every once in a while, there's a monkey wrench thrown into the works. We're just also excited about the Phillies advancing to the NLDS.
Of course.
Got to throw a shout out to that. And you may have noticed that Aeneas and I are modeling these lovely Blue and White Players Show T-shirts with the logo and the tagline on them. Those are going to be available to purchase next week, so we will have details for you on that upcoming. But Devon, following on what we did with Adisa, if you can just introduce yourself to the audience and tell us about your path to Penn State.
How y'all doing? I'm Devon Ellies, defensive tackle. I'm from Maryland. My high school was McDonough. As some of you know, PJ Mustapher came from McDonough. Curtis came from McDonough. Denai came from McDonough. Played there. I got recruited there out of 8th grade. And it was a pretty good experience. I started playing football when I was in like 6th grade. I was extremely obese. I was 210 in the 5th grade, so they just had me hop on the field and start running and hitting kids because I was abnormally athletic for 210-pound 5th grader.
To put that in perspective, I was 6'2", 185 in 8th grade.
You were 6'2" in the 5th grade?
8th grade.
Oh, 8th grade, okay.
6'2", 185 in 8th grade.
Okay.
You're 210 in 5th grade.
Yeah, I was 5'8", 210 in the 5th grade. Haven't grown much since then, but
No, he hasn't. Carry on.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I started playing 6th, 7th grade.
Was it weighted? I have to ask.
Yeah, it was weighted.
So you were the guy running around the track trying to make weight every week. That's why I was not allowed to play football.
Yeah.
My mom would not let me play football until I was in high school. I was going to ask if that was the case with him being too heavy, because my mom and dad would be like, why are you making my kid running around the track? And if he does make weight, he's playing against kids like 5 years older than him.
Right.
And it's like, this is not.
Right.
I mean, it makes you tougher, for sure.
Sure.
But also, you're playing against 8th graders who you're in 4th grade. It's a big old difference.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And like, I didn't play during that season until the last 2 games of the season.
When you made weight, when you stopped running around with a trash bag around you at like 9 years old.
And that's probably
There's something wrong with that.
Most Power 5 O linemen and D linemen, I would assume, probably go through that at some point during youth football. If you're
Offensive linemen are a little more athletic. We get them from like basketball factories and stuff like that. You know how we're very athletic.
What do you mean by
do
that?
they say that?
Belt type of guys.
I've never heard.
You know, the short little tubby guys. They make them the D linemen and this and that. So the tall athletes they make.
Tall athletes they make left guard.
Beautiful.
Nobody says that.
I get it though.
Historic offensive lineman.
I get it. He hit his head a lot when he was playing.
Absolutely.
Listen, their helmets did not look like this.
I'm seeing it now.
My head's so big, they used to just bolt a mask to my face. I mean, they didn't have a helmet to fit my head, man.
Yeah. What?
Okay, so high school and obviously a little bit of a Penn State pipeline there now, but what was the recruiting process like for you?
It was different. It really came down to 3 schools. It was Ohio State, USC, and Penn State.
Jesus.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's a good list.
Yeah, and then with Penn State, I just felt like it was like home for me, The family atmosphere is really what brought me here, just because I'm just big on family myself. And so with that, I wanted to go somewhere where I felt like everybody essentially like had a hand in my development, to where like it was good development. I was growing as a person, as a man, not only on the field but off the field as well, just with so many people around me that want to see me win.
We're worried about you.
Exactly.
Did you not see that at the other schools?
It wasn't that I
Were you
didn't.
just like a number type of thing? I mean, that's just.
Yeah, I mean,
there are 2 hell of a programs you turned down to come here.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't it wasn't that I didn't see that. It's just I felt more comfortable here. Like this is where I could see myself.
Sure.
You know, for the next 3, 4, 5 years.
There was guys here who were teammates of yours or like guys and this and that. You had PJ, an older guy who was leading you. You felt comfortable in this and that.
Exactly, and they gave me insight as to like what the program really was. And then I met the room, and it was just completely different from like any room that I've seen like at any of the schools I've visited. 1,000%. I mean, we had Hulk.
It was an outstanding
okay,
room.
that's a big thing now.
Yeah.
Franklin said that last week about how the rooms.
Yeah.
Not the D-line room. You're talking about your dormitory rooms, your apartments, right? Or what are you talking about?
Oh no, I was talking about like the D-line room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was talking about like what Franklin said about how you guys have to live and stuff like that. And how he's losing recruits because of guys who are like they want to live alone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did that come up with you guys?
Not really.
I was blown away by it. I was like, what is he talking about?
That's the new recruiting class. There's a lot more that goes into
in
that.
3 years,
different generation.
Yeah, it's
NIL's killing us.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But it's also awesome too.
Oh, 100%.
Definitely awesome.
100%.
It is. It's great for. I mean, dude. Again, I've said it every show so far.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the pissy old man here, but you know what? I'm happy as hell for every one of you to get every dime you can get.
Sir, this is, and especially just with it being like a small college town, there's a lot of opportunity. Everywhere you look, you know, it's literally the fall. You know, I respect other sports, but it's like football, training, football again. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Now, when you get out of here, though, you're going to realize that it is a small world up here. But when it goes into the real world, we're thick as thieves because Penn State has, it's like all my non-Penn State friends make fun of us. It's like, dude, all you guys talk about is like Penn State when you talk with Penn State people. I'm like,
I mean, what else is there to
I'm
talk
cool
about?
with it.
Yeah, what else
I'm
is there
cool
to
with it.
talk
I mean,
about?
I was happy with those four and a half years of my life. I'm not going to run from them.
No doubt.
I love it. I moved here for that friggin' reason.
Yeah, I will tell you that one thing I tell anyone about picking Penn State, not just a prospective athlete, is that one of the best benefits you will get out of it is the network of people all throughout the world who will be strangers to you, but because you share that common bond, they're going to want to help you in your life some way. And that stays with you till your dying day. Once you're a Penn Stater, you're a Penn Stater forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody knows somebody.
Everybody.
Everybody knows.
Remember that.
So you talked a little bit about the small town atmosphere up here in Happy Valley, and one of the cool things about that, I think, is that when things are rolling with the football program, things just feel a little different. There's a little crackle of energy in the air, and fortunately you guys so far are putting on a season that is creating that kind of feeling here in Happy Valley. So let's talk a little football. I mentioned to Adisa, and I'll talk to you too, Devon. The first 5 games of this season has thrown a lot at this football team.
Yes, sir.
A couple of tough road trips, some crazy weather conditions last week.
Yes, sir.
Again, give us a couple of stories from your first 5 games.
Shoot, well, the first 5 games have definitely been interesting. There really hasn't been a time where we've been, I wouldn't say stressed or like worried at all. Like there really hasn't been a time like that.
Purdue, you guys were just like,
very
stay course, we're good to go.
Very
we got
level-headed, like you know how there's
That's
always
a sign of a good ass team.
Great sign.
That is a sign of a good ass team.
Yeah, there's always the bicker between positions, whatever it may be, the back and forth. There was none of that, you know. I don't know about that, but there was none of that. Like I said previously, I believe this year it's like a confidence thing, and it's like a supreme confidence thing. That's what we've been preaching a lot this year, and it's not necessarily a thing where it's like, oh, we're just that much better than everybody else that we're just gonna go in and beat them. It's more so like we don't care who it is. We're gonna go in, we're gonna handle business, and we're gonna walk out like we've done this before, you know?
You talk about confidence of the team this year being different. We saw you last year get thrust into a position where you played a lot more snaps than probably what you were expecting going into the year when PJ got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
How has that translated into confidence for you this season? Because we've seen you take a big step forward.
It's just the feel of the game, you know? Coming in as a younger guy, like coming in as a freshman, the difference is the speed of the game. True. And then once you get into real game reps, that speed is a lot different. And once you get more experience, it starts to slow down for you.
Yep.
And that's the biggest thing for me. Like,
you catching that on the last 6 weeks now we've been talking about this?
The game is starting to slow down.
The game slows down because you're well coached and you understand it, and it comes easy. And then when it starts coming easy,
that's when it's a problem.
That's when it's fun.
Because you start to see things differently. You're reading things a lot easier, and then especially
you're not falling for stuff. You're not
exactly.
Good to go.
Especially with like PJ, with PJ being injured last year, like you said, stepping into a big role. PJ had a big hand in that just because he wasn't necessarily on the field, but he gave a lot of coaching tips and
it's like having another coach.
Exactly, and having advice for us just because he played so well those first 5 games he was in. So why wouldn't I take advice from him? And then I want to do, more as time goes on. So I just took his advice and kept working on the things that he was telling us. So.
What has been asked of you as an interior defensive lineman, has it changed a lot or at all, really, from shifting from Brent Pry's defensive scheme to Manny Diaz's?
They're both great defenses. Manny Diaz is just a little bit different from Pry. He's just a bit more aggressive in his play calling.
Yes.
So I think that's pretty much the biggest difference.
So do you sense that defense or that shift from your position?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just a different mentality that we have to have just because we have a lot of like movement across the line. Yep. It's a lot more. How do I put this? We play a lot more like intertwined. Like we play so much with the linebackers and the safeties, with blitzing safeties, and corners and such. And so that's a big difference. So.
It's a beautiful world, man. 5-0 going to Michigan right now. Sounds very similar to some.
Something I didn't get to ask Adisa about that I do try to get into a little bit with you guys when we can. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing off the field. What's your major? What do you want to do with your degree after you move on from Penn State, and even if you play football beyond it?
Yeah.
After the NFL, because we all know we're going to
right,
we're all going to the NFL.
Yeah,
I'm still going.
Yeah. Well, my major is telecommunications, and I actually wanted to get into like ad PR, marketing initially.
Awesome. Very good.
But then I started taking my classes and learning more, and I actually just want to do stuff like this, like kind of what Hawk is getting into right now. He's putting himself out there, putting him in different positions to be successful in the broadcasting.
Not calling people on
space.
weekends.
Yeah. It's like that. But like just a space like that, I feel like I'll be good at.
Very good, very good. Well, again, you've come to a great school for it, man. The stuff that is available at Belisario now, even compared to when I was in school, night and day. It's amazing. Tons of great opportunities, great gear for you to learn on, great role models within the program to pave the way, right?
I love the wording.
It's ROLL rolls.
You got jokes today. He's a funny guy. Goodness gracious. It never ends on this show, man. It never ends.
But yeah.
It's all good.
So,
hey, as long as we're happy next week, that's all I got to ask. That's all I want.
If they add up to 2 sacks next week?
I think that's got to count too. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't get scared now.
What? I ain't scared.
You worried?
You getting timid over there?
Are you worried?
You think I'm scared?
Are you worried?
2 sacks, is that between the 2 of them or as a team?
No,
between Devon and Adisa.
Yeah.
The oven's hot now. Don't
hands above the fire.
Yeah.
How's the line at?
Am I gonna say no? I don't want to take that because
God
forbid I don't want it to happen. I don't want to have 2 sacks during the game.
I backed you right into the corner.
I want you mauling those cats.
No
man.
doubt.
Say no more,
dude. Listen. I don't like them. I never have liked them. You have never had to play there with people there, and it's just their arrogance. It's just unbelievable. They never wanted us. They still don't want us. They hate us.
Yeah.
They really do. It's their conference, and we're imposing on them. It's absolutely ridiculous. I told you when we were having dinner like that, Levi Brown. So you guys ever played out there with fans and stuff like that? And there's just an arrogance about them. It's just an unbelievable arrogance. It's like that's their conference, and we're imposing on them. So I want you to impose a lot of your will on those cats on Saturday, man. I want you whipping them, beating their asses.
Absolutely.
Every play.
All fear none.
I couldn't have said it any better. 5-0.
There's no
10th in the country.
You're going to have so much fun, man.
Yes, sir.
Justify that confidence, man. Go 1-0 this week. Mom, thanks so much, man. Appreciate you.
Disco ball.
Sir.
I'll be back with Goon and Aeneas to wrap this one up. Keep it locked right here on the Blue and White Players Show from Champs Downtown.
People always ask me what Chance is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
It's good, bro.
What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
That's all right, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I did.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
Right now, I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X-Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Hey, Penn State fans, it's game time, and Sionka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Sionka dealerships. Experience the difference.
We're back. Welcome back to the Blue and White Players Show. Coming to you from Champs downtown, right here in the heart of Happy Valley, as we do every Monday at 6 p.m., talking to two players from the 2022 Penn State football team, giving you the old school, new school, same school perspective on the season from the players themselves.
Looks good.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
As you see on these T-shirts, Aeneas and I are so capably modeling for you. Those will be available.
Glad you wore a 3X T-shirt and a sweatshirt underneath it. You look,
yeah, no doubt. Well, I gotta try to add
hey,
some
what's up? How you doing?
You look strong, man. I love it.
Yeah, can we bring like a can we bring like a punter on the show or something here to help me out a little bit? Guys.
Well, obviously we have 600 defensive linemen in our locker room. We can't bring anybody but defensive linemen onto the show anymore.
Well, not for nothing.
They do have personality. I give them that.
Great personalities, man.
That's about it.
I think it's also worth noting, right? We talked about the rotation and the depth on the defensive line. One of the reasons why you can bring so many interesting guys on a show like that is because we have so many guys in that unit who are making plays.
And it's the truth, man. It is the truth. I'm telling you, as an offensive lineman,
no doubt.
You got a guy, you could not find a human being on this planet who can go 100 miles an hour every play.
Can't do it.
It's physically impossible.
Impossible.
You guys go 4 or 5 plays in a row, 3, 4 plays, and just a million miles an hour?
Yep.
And sell out every play?
Yep.
I mean, an offensive lineman has no time to regroup, and all that stuff.
If you keep the same 5-0 lineman,
that's changed.
It has not always been that way.
No,
it's not always been that way at all. And even to be honest with you, Coach Spence would rotate D-line guys a lot, but I haven't seen the D-line rotate that much since he's left. And I really think more so than anything, it's just a testament to the
talent.
depth.
It's talent.
There's so much
depth.
talent in that group. There are a lot of NFL bodies on that D-line, and time's going to tell that.
So tell me if I'm barking up the wrong tree here,
Yep.
though. I think that's probably another wrinkle that you throw at opposing offensive coordinators
Yep.
when now they've got to be worried not just about where the pressure is going to come from in Manny Diaz's scheme, but they've
Yep.
got to scout 7, 8 guys
Yep.
to look for what type of player he is, what his tendencies are. And, as we saw the 2 guys we had on tonight, we can throw a lot of different, player types
Yep.
at you, even out of those 3-4 rush positions.
They have bodies for every scheme, every situation that they're in. You got P.J. Mustafers and guys like that for 3rd and 1s, and we got Hakeem Beamans and Jordan Vandenbergs for 3rd and longs. Go get the quarterback. And you mentioned the pressures and where they're coming from, and you can scheme those things. But if you have Adisa Isaac on the back end and he's going to win his one-on-one, it doesn't matter if you know where the pressure's coming from. They're getting home either way.
On the goal line with P.J.
No doubt. Hey, P.J. Mustafer is back, ladies and
No
gentlemen.
doubt about it.
He is
That
back.
was the moment when I finally realized that, he has no reservations about his health anymore whatsoever. He's 100%, 110% cleared.
Absolutely.
Goon, I remember when Paul Posluszny got hurt in the Orange Bowl after the 2005 season.
Sure.
When he came back the next year, he still won the Bednarik Award again, but I don't think...
He was injured. He was not there.
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't until maybe about the 6th game of the season that you saw he was really back to being comfortable. I'm watching PJ against Northwestern 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
I thought you saw that for the first time.
Absolutely. It looked like he was back to himself finally. I saw flashes of it in Auburn.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I think he started to get back. That Northwestern game, to me, it looked like the PJ of old
Dominant.
days.
Yes.
He looked dominant again. And to have a dominant force like that back for the back half of the season,
It's crazy.
Penn State needs to be excited, man.
Sure. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, like I said, it takes those guys because 9 months before, that book right there, those pages were stronger than his knee.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So he's sitting there, he's like, I can't play. He couldn't lift 4 pounds 9 months ago.
Yep.
You think about that.
Right.
And then you can mentally come back. You lifted 400 pounds now, that's great, but you're still not mentally like, okay, I could go back to that because you still think that you have a torn up knee. And there's no doubt, it's not a personality trait, that's just a human trait in itself. Because you were down, you had nothing. Your leg had nothing to give. And now all of a sudden you think that you're going to be 100 miles an hour. It takes that first hit and that like, okay, I got this. I'm pretty damn good. I'm clear with this. I mean, I had a guy, Chris Mazik, played on the 94 team, was his senior year. He was a 6th-year guy. He had shot 6 times in his leg, I'm swear to God. And I did not remember. I got there in 91 and 92, he was not there. He was in rehab and this and that. They were trying to figure out if he could ever play again because his leg was all mangled up and this and that. Came back out of 6th year in 94. And I remember, and I just say this and I'm laughing because he'll laugh with me, but we're in a scrimmage and I low blocked him. I cut blocked him, and it was borderline. You don't do that to your teammate, but I'm like, I don't want to get yelled at because I'm going to go down and block you. If I lose, I'm going to get yelled at, so I'm going to cut you and this and that. So he
win at all costs.
He's like, I'm going to tell you right now. He goes, I want to fight you right now, but he goes, also, you got me mentally. I'm there. He goes, I know it's not going to go away. I know it's fine.
Yeah.
And that's what I realized. Like, oh God, this is something big. There is something to what those guys say, and it's 100% truth.
Yeah.
And I would cut block him tomorrow morning too. Teammate or not.
No doubt. I also want to say real quick, to come back mentally from an injury the first time is a lot of times more challenging than the second time because you've never had to go through that before and go through.
But you know what you're going through. In your mind, you're going through the worst days.
Exactly.
And I got to say, I was impressed with how zen Adisa seemed to be about the whole thing. He never had a serious injury before, only played high school football. And, he seemed to be reacclimating pretty easily.
I don't know where Adisa gets it from, but even from the time he came into the program, nobody ever could make Adisa Isaac panic. At the best moments, at the worst moments, you're getting the same guy every time.
Chill cat.
He's a chill cat, shows up, works hard, regardless of the circumstances, and that's a part of what sets him apart for sure.
Tear runs down Goon's eyes.
Slow cry, man.
I've been telling you, I like this team.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm around these guys more so than I have been in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I feel as if I have a good pulse of these guys. Everybody I've talked to and everybody you've watched on television here, that's the real people. They're not bullshitting. They're not faking you and this and that. These guys, that's the real people.
Authentic.
And I love where this team is at. I really do. I mean, it might be this time next week. We might be in a different situation. We really could be, and according to Las Vegas, we're going to be in that situation. But I have that feeling that this team is totally different, and it's like you have these teams, and then like 3 years from now, they can build on these, and it's momentum building and stuff like that. And you got rid of guys that weren't buying in, weren't doing this or doing that. Then you have these younger guys. I'm going to sit there and say the 92 team for the 94 guys. Our 92 team was super, super, super talented, but we started losing games, and we were young guys like, wow, we're not supposed to lose these games. They were worried about something else. I think this team has the eyes on the prize at the end of the season. And if they do lose this weekend, I think that this team is mature enough and tough enough and have enough, intestinal fortitude to say, okay, we're lost, but the season is not over. Like, we taped our show earlier today. Like, we're trekking right now for a playoff, Rose Bowl with 2 losses, or a Power 6 game with 3 losses.
Yep.
I mean, that's the future right now.
Yep.
I don't want to lose 3 games. I don't want to lose any game. Yep. And the guys don't either.
Something I can guarantee is that every single one of those guys in the locker room came here to win a Big Ten championship. That's number one. The second thing is they've never been able to do it, and a lot of years they weren't close to that goal. So again, you talk about guys having their eyes on the prize. There's a benefit to having lost 2 seasons in a row, way more games than what you were supposed to.
Because it seemed that the guys didn't care before.
And they understand.
I think that these guys care. You tell me. You're closer to these cats than I am.
Again, my thing is, what was the record last year? 7-6. COVID year, I forget the record. 4-5. 4-5. You have 2 mediocre, abysmal years, and guys came in here with the expectation to win and find success. There's laser focus right now. They're not going to sit around and wait. Their careers are ending. Those guys that came in with those goals, they're running out of time. You're seeing the urgency.
So, Chris and I had talked about it. I don't know if you were part of it, but I came back in 2005, and we had this great recruiting class, which they do currently right now. But we also had 2005, we had some unbelievable leaders. Alan Zamitis, Michael Robinson, Paul Plez-Lesney. I think we have that with these guys now. We really do, and these younger guys are sitting there, honest to God, you're scared.
Yep.
I don't let these guys down. That's what, as a younger person, as a younger player, you do not want to let those guys down.
Absolutely not.
Because they probably would F you up if they...
Oh, yeah.
If you do bad and you cost them a season, they might get a little...
There's some accountability there.
There's no doubt.
There's got to be.
You got to love that. We haven't had that, it seems.
I think the biggest difference that I've seen, the leaders on this team are leading by example. They're living it. They're doing the things right on and off the field. They're leading by example in practice, playing hard. You talk about guys like P.J. Mustipher, Jair Brown. Heck, Sean Clifford got lit up against Auburn, got up, threw another dot, and kept playing ball. The leaders on this team are the toughest and grittiest guys out there, and the young guys have no choice but to follow them, and I don't think the leaders have always been that here.
And at the same time, I think back to what Bryce Effner was saying on the show last week, which is that they love the enthusiasm and everything new to the freshmen, right?
Yep.
Like there's a good yin-yang going on with these guys right now. But before we get out of here, I do want to just talk a little bit about the obstacles standing in their way this week. We know, even though they've got to go to Ann Arbor, traveling is not an issue for this team. No. They've already weathered 2 really difficult road trips. But I think, as I see it, this is for sure, top to bottom, the most talented team they've faced so far this season. A little bit of a question, I think, in some people's minds about how good they actually are, because the caliber of competition has not been very high. It's been in the basement in the non-conference schedule for Michigan. And so far, they've beaten Maryland, who gave them trouble, Iowa, who scored 6 points this week, who gave them some trouble, and, Indiana played them tough for a half, backdoor cover, Goon, you called it. So what's your guys' impression of this year's Wolverines team?
I think their offense is going to run through that running game, and Blake Corum, and I think that...
a great back.
Great back. He's legit, and I'll tell you what, in my opinion, if they can't run the ball, they can't win the game. The Penn State secondary is going to do their job. They're going to strap those receivers up, and I don't see that being an issue. It's going to come down to the front 7 doing their job. It's going to come down to the offense, who we saw struggle last year on the road against Iowa. They haven't shown it this year, but they're going to the big house. Allegedly, it gets loud. I don't know. I've never experienced it. But again, how do they handle that environment? How does the offense perform? And to me, the offense's performance also comes down to how the defensive line and how the offensive line, rather, matches up with that defensive line and whether or not they can slow them down enough to allow Nick Singleton and Kaytron Allen and Sean Clifford to operate the offense and find success.
So you walk out of your locker room, you got to stare at their locker room, and they got to sit. You have to bow down to their flag because they're Michigan. That's what they make you do, pretty much. And then you have to run down a tunnel, go to your sideline, and then they get to run right through your sideline. They go touch their flags because the big Michigan club supports them. They're all bull. You know what? Go out there, smack them in the mouth. I'm telling you, I have an angst against these guys. I came back here in 2005. I was telling Booch, those guys hadn't played out there. By about the third quarter, they looked at me and says, "Man, you were right. This place sucks."
Yep.
One, it's not a loud place. Two is they're arrogant and this and that. They think that they're all this and all that over Penn State because they think they're better than you. And there's nothing more that you want to do than somebody who acts and walks around and has an arrogance about them that thinks that they're better than you. All you want to do is punch that person in their mouth.
Yep.
And I cannot wait for our guys to go out there this week and do it. I would go and do it for somebody if I'd be invited.
I can hear it in your voice. I believe you.
I've never liked them.
It's
just the arrogance of them is unbelievable. I'll stop right there because I might get in some dirty words, and I know we're on some good, clean, wholesome family television on the radio stations here, and the internet. But I just don't like them. I never have liked them. They've never liked us. They never wanted us there. As long as our guys realize how much they don't like us and they look down upon Penn State because we're inferior and they have had this attitude and this arrogance and this nose-up attitude to us since 1991, they can kiss my big old you-know-what.
Big old.
I like it. And I couldn't agree more.
I cannot wait to go out there. I don't know. I want to go talk to the team on Friday. Get on the plane. I'm going to stop the plane. Open the door. I rip the door open like Hulk Hogan. I'm walking in. And let me tell you, like Chris Farley, let me tell you a few things here. Let me tell you, I hate these guys. But seriously, it's just their arrogance and everything about them. You grew up in Ohio. There's sort of that arrogance that it blends down a little bit to the Cincinnati area, and it's just like we're better than you. And you're like, no, you're not.
Yep.
You are not. Look at your bowl record. You won half a national title since the Great Depression.
0.5.
Since the Great Depression. And they talk about how great they are. Jim Harbaugh has a 1-5 or 2-5 bowl record. I don't want to talk about it. Bo Schembechler's is even worse. But all they care about is winning that Big Ten and this and that. But you can have all the Big Tens you want. We're coming this week. We're going to take what we want and we're going to leave, just like we used to do in the 90s.
Clock's ticking.
I'm jacked up.
Clock's ticking. Yeah, 1-0.
If Booch isn't here next week, I'm going to break his head here in about 2 minutes.
So tune in next Monday at 6 p.m. Maybe I'll be here. Maybe I'll be dead. Hopefully, either way, the Nittany Lions will be 6-0. It's the Blue and White Players Show live from Champstown. See you next week.
6, baby.
People always ask me what chance is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
It's good, bro.
What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
It's all right, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I didn't.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
Right now, I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X-Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables. small batch jams, and made from scratch pies. Where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler. Where award-winning wines, craft-made beers, and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Hey, Penn State fans, it's game time, and Sionka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association.